Hello and welcome to this channel about cryptocurrency education. Today we are having a look at the ADA price and the comment of one popular crypto analyst who predicts that Cardano will go back down to $1. So I just want to share with you my thoughts about this, and we're having a look at the current price developments across the crypto space. Unfortunately, there is a slight correction in Bitcoin, which is from my point of view totally normal. I mean, this channel is mainly about Cardano, but Cardano price, it is still sort of related to the Bitcoin price. At the moment, I think there is a lot to catch up actually to the upside with regards to Cardano. I think Cardano has a lot to catch up because the other cryptos or Ethereum and Bitcoin, they went up actually more in the last, let's say, 2 weeks than Cardano did in percent. But nevertheless, Cardano is sort of still related to Bitcoin. I'm sure at one point they will decouple, but at the moment it is related. So for me personally, when I look at the Cardano price, I also always take a look at the Bitcoin price, because the current price increase from where we were, $30,000, even a little bit lower than that, is driven by Bitcoin. Unfortunately, after they increased to a little bit over 41,000, we are now down to 38,700 roughly. People are panicking again. It's quite funny to read the some of the news on the news pages, the crypto news pages, where sometimes there are just no news, and then they have to say something, they have to report something, and then they talk about the current crash. This is not a crash. A crash is something like 20-30%. This is not a crash. And I would even argue that in Bitcoin, a crash is even not even 20%, because 20% can happen in a matter of days. And I wouldn't consider that a crash. And even here with 2% in the last 24 hours, that is not a crash. That is a normal correction. It's a constant up and down anyway. This is a volatile space, and people shouldn't panic if the price drops by 3%, if it increased before that by 20 or 30%. So nothing to worry here. Now, obviously, Cardano, and I talked about that a few days ago, has a little bit of a different pattern at the moment than Bitcoin. And the reason for that is that it seems to be stuck sort of in the range of its previous all-time high back in, I believe it was 2018. And it doesn't seem to get above like 135 or 140 at the moment. So it's sort of stuck in that range. There isn't a lot of movement in the Cardano price at the moment. And it was surprising to see that the other cryptos increased quite a lot, and especially Ethereum, whereas Cardano sort of stuck. And that can sometimes happen. That's all chart analysis. That is technical stuff. Nothing fundamental has changed. I mean, Cardano is still my biggest holding. Cardano is still on its way to introducing smart contracts, in the next couple of months, I believe. Not in August, certainly not, but potentially in September. And if it doesn't happen in September, it will happen in October. I'm sure the guys are doing a great job. And then the whole crypto space will change. I believe Cardano has the power to change the entire crypto space. So what I want to talk about today is really a bit of optimism. And I found this article here that talks about, so Peter Brandt, he's a popular crypto analyst. He's got a lot of followers on Twitter. And he predicted, I think 2018, a Litecoin drop in price. And it seems like Cardano is currently forming the same pattern that Litecoin did at the time. So as I looked at that a few days ago, at that pattern here, that we've got this sort of we can see it here on the ADA USD chart. We can see that support level here, and I also I showed it to you in my last video that there is quite a bit of a support here at the $1 level. It is quite an important support, and there's also a resistance here at 150, which is quite big. And what he says basically is that looking at the pattern back then, we can actually see at the time there was this Litecoin pattern here where we could see this sort of triangle forming, and we can see that again now on the Cardano price. I haven't really drawn it in, but if I zoom in a little bit, we can see it if we take a look at the red line and the blue line. And the red line is the 200-day moving average. The blue line is the 50-day moving average. And over the last, when did it start? Since June, pretty much, we've been within the two ranges here. So this means that the 50-day moving average is going down, the 200-day moving average is going up, and the price has sort of more or less always been within these two ranges here. And now there isn't a lot of movement. When it touched the 50-day moving average here on the 1st of August, which was 2 days ago, The candle couldn't close above that level, and the range is still within that. So looking at that, it seems like if it continues like that, it will at some point hit the 200-day moving average again. And then, I personally don't know what's going to happen, but chances are if the Bitcoin price continues its way down, which it currently does, but it all depends on the perspective you take. But in the last 24 hours, obviously, Bitcoin price went down. So chances are, if it touches that 200-day moving average and Bitcoin is on its way down, it will go down as well. And that's what Peter says here. He thinks that Cardano, if it breaks that level, so if it continues that pattern here, it will go down back to $1. Now, a few weeks ago, actually, I did a video on will Cardano go back to $1, and actually it did after that. And because it is a major support level, and it did that when Bitcoin went down to $29,000-$30,000. And it's nothing special in my opinion. It's an important support level, and because the price is related to Bitcoin, and if Bitcoin drops, chances are it will go down to that level. It is a major support level. Of course, if it goes below that, we could even see prices of 50 cents. Now, it didn't happen. Hopefully it will not happen. But even if it does, it's sort of good as well, because we can buy in ADA cheaper. So if prices, I just want to say, if prices of cryptocurrencies go down in the short term, that is not a problem, because that is part of the game. It's part of the crypto space. It is a highly volatile space, especially with altcoins. They are even more volatile than Bitcoin, and we can see that with Cardano, because it was outperforming Bitcoin quite a lot last year and this year. And now, it all depends. Now, then you have these patterns forming, and obviously, it could happen that Cardano goes back down to $1, but it's not a tragedy. I mean, in this article, it sounds like a bit of a, that he's warning Cardano investors, and there is something really bad and something like a crash. And it would be something like a 30% drop. But then, to be honest, it only happened 2 weeks ago, so it's nothing major. It only happened 2 weeks ago. I mean, and then again before that, it happened. When was that? It happened a month before that. So it is nothing too significant if the Cardano price goes back down to $1. I remember when I did that video and someone in the comments posted, I wouldn't know what I'm talking about, and it will never go back down to $1. I mean, I don't take these comments too seriously, because everything is always possible in the crypto space and in the financial markets. Everything is just probabilities, and everything can happen. So I strongly believe the Cardano price will at one point go down below $1. It can, because it can happen, because if the whole market goes down in the next bear market, it could potentially happen. Nobody knows. We don't know how much the next bear market will go down, the Bitcoin price, for example, and will it drop again below 30,000? Chances are then that the Cardano price will drop down as well below $1. So all of these things are possible. But what I want to say is, all of this is not that important if you are invested in the long term. And I think that is the way how you can become rich in the crypto space, because you can accumulate cryptocurrencies over a period of time. You get a very good average price, and then let's say over a period of 4 to 5 years, depending on when you started and how much you're investing, chances are you can get very, very wealthy with your diamond hands in the crypto space. And that is pretty much what I wanted to talk about today. Luckily, we've seen the volumes picking up a little bit in the Cardano space. I think I looked at the Ethereum and the Bitcoin prices as well, and the volumes, and it seems like volumes are leaving Bitcoin and Ethereum a little bit, and money is going into Cardano. But we are not seeing that breakthrough of the price yet, which is probably also related to the chart here and the 50-day and the 200-day moving average, which is keeping the the Cardano price sort of within this range. Interestingly, also, that we can see, this volatility here, there was more volatility in this move than it seems to be in this move, and again, that's related to these averages, sort of being around the Cardano price. So I'm very sort of interested what's going to happen, and chances are that something will happen in the next couple of days, either to the upside or the downside. hopefully to the upside, and then we could see a price increase up to 150, because that's another major resistance level. If we go through that, hopefully then we can see new all-time highs, but nobody knows when that will happen. But I'm sure it will happen this year. I still believe we can see prices of $4 to $5 this year, and then in the long run I believe it will definitely reach $20, but I'm not sure about the time scale. But that's why I continue to invest, and within the next 5 years I'm not gonna sell my biggest position, which is ADA. Alright, so hopefully you liked the video. If you did, then please smash the like button, and if you want to follow me on this crypto journey, then please subscribe to the channel. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye!